You've seen the midnight dumpster divers and the manager's special yellow stickers. But what if I told you the food that doesn't get sold at your local grocery store is currently powering the lights in your neighborhood, feeding a local livestock farm, or being tracked by an AI more advanced than the one in your smartphone? Today, we're going behind the staff-only doors to reveal the secret $540 billion afterlife of unsold supermarket food. In the hyper-efficient retail landscape of 2026, a supermarket is less of a store and more of a high-speed transit hub for perishables. But even with the most advanced logistics, the perfect shelf is a mathematical impossibility. Globally, the economic cost of food waste across the supply chain is forecast to hit a staggering $540 billion this year. So, where does it all go when the sell-by clock hits zero? The answer is a complex hierarchy of rescue, repurposing, and high-tech recycling. 1. The first line of defense, the algorithmic discount. Gemini said, before a single head of lettuce is tossed, the supermarket's AI is already working to save it. In 2026, manual manager specials are being replaced by dynamic pricing algorithms. Using real-time data on foot traffic, weather patterns, and shelf life sensors, the digital price tags on the shelf can automatically drop by 15%, 30%, or 50% as an item approaches its expiration. This isn't just about clearing stock, it's about sell-through optimization. If the AI knows a thunderstorm is coming and foot traffic will drop, it will slash the price of fresh sushi now rather than waiting until tonight when it's unsellable. By integrating predictive weather modeling, the system preemptively incentivizes early purchases, effectively smoothing out demand curves. This ensures that perishable inventory moves at the highest possible price point before external factors render physical store visits, and the food itself, obsolete. 2. The redistribution revolution, from charity to core process. For food that doesn't sell even at a discount, the next stop is no longer the trash, it's the surplus marketplace. Surplus apps, platforms like Too Good To Go and Gander have moved from niche pilots to industry standards. Retailers now bundle nearly expired items into surprise bags, allowing customers to buy $30 worth of groceries for $10 via an app. Automated donations, the charity run, has been digitized. In many regions, legislation now mandates that edible surplus must be donated. Supermarkets use automated platforms to alert local food banks the moment a batch of bread or meat is pulled from the shelf, ensuring the cold chain remains intact. Flash freezing. One of the most effective 2026 strategies involves rescue freezing. Meats nearing their sell-by date are immediately flash frozen by store staff, extending their shelf life by months for safe distribution to hunger relief agencies. 3. The industrial afterlife. Waste into wealth. When food is truly past the point of human consumption, think bruised bananas, wilted spinach, or expired dairy, it enters the circular economy. Animal feed and upcycling. Supermarkets increasingly partner with local agricultural sectors. High-sugar fruits and starch-heavy bakery items are processed into nutritious animal feed for pigs and cattle. This backhaul loop reduces the cost of waste disposal for the store while providing cheap, high-energy feed for farmers. Anaerobic digestion, turning rot into watts. The most invisible afterlife of unsold food is energy. Many modern supermarkets now route their organic waste to anaerobic digesters. The process, microorganisms break down the food waste in an oxygen-free environment. The output, this produces biogas, which can be used for heating or electricity, and a nutrient-rich digestate used as a high-grade fertilizer. In 2026, the very food you didn't buy on Tuesday might be powering the refrigerator keeping your milk cold on Friday. 4. The reality of the landfill, the final resort. Despite these innovations, the zero-waste dream is still a work in progress. Landfills remain the last resort, but they are a massive financial liability for stores. The methane problem. When food rots in a landfill without oxygen, it produces methane, a greenhouse gas significantly more potent than $CO_2. The waste bill. Retailers are now facing landfill taxes and mandatory reporting. If a store's waste-to-revenue ratio exceeds certain benchmarks, they face heavy fines. This is why you see dark stores and fulfillment centers using SKU-level measurement to prevent the surplus from even existing in the first place. 5. Economic impact and sector analysis. The scale of economic loss in 2026 is distributed unevenly across different food categories, reflecting the unique challenges of their respective supply chains. Meat and poultry represent the largest financial drain, accounting for an estimated $94 billion in lost output globally. This is primarily managed through aggressive rescue freezing and immediate donation protocols due to its high value. Fresh produce follows closely at $88 billion, largely diverted toward composting and animal feed when it loses its cosmetic appeal. Dairy and eggs contribute $52 billion to the lost pool, with anaerobic digestion being the preferred disposal method for these liquids. Finally, bakery items account for $38 billion in losses, though they are increasingly upcycled into specialized high-protein animal fodder. 6. The expert verdict. Why it still happens. Why, in an age of AI, do we still have unsold food? The answer is consumer psychology. Experts point to the requirement of abundance. Shoppers are psychologically conditioned to avoid the last item on a shelf, perceiving it as picked over or inferior. To keep you buying, stores must keep shelves looking full, which inherently creates a surplus. This phenomenon, often called the fear of the empty shelf, creates a paradoxical situation where precision inventory management actually conflicts with sales targets. If an AI predicts a store only needs 10 units of a specific artisanal cheese, but 10 units make the shelf look sparse and unappealing, the retailer will intentionally overstock to 15 units. This visual buffer ensures the consumer feels they are getting the best, freshest selection, but it guarantees that 5 units are mathematically destined for the surplus bin. In 2026, we are essentially overproducing food not because we can't track it, but because we haven't yet re-engineered the human brain's bias toward excess. The bottom line, what really happens to unsold food is no longer a simple story of the trash can. It is a multi-billion-dollar logistics battle involving AI, renewable energy, and community rescue. The next time you see a manager's special sticker, remember, you're looking at a retailer's last-ditch effort to keep that item in the human food chain before it's sent to the digesters to be turned into a light bulb's glow. This shift represents a fundamental move toward reverse logistics, where the value is extracted not from the sale, but from the reclamation. By 2026, the data gathered from these last-ditch efforts is fed back into global production models to minimize the carbon-to-calories ratio. Every time a steak is rescued or a loaf of bread is turned into biogas, the system learns how to bridge the gap between human need and environmental cost. We are moving toward a future where waste is no longer an endpoint, but a raw material in a never-ending cycle of energy and nourishment.